And we'll look for Nicole to call. She's yeah, she's not in the waiting room yet, but she should be. She said she would be coming. So, all right. It is 2:03 p.m. This is a meeting of the Open Space Committee, September 19th, 2024 at 2 p.m. We have a quorum with Michael Sylvia. Is Maureen gone now again? Is Maureen there? Yeah, she's there. Maureen Manasian and Eileen Heine, chair. So we'll get started. We're expecting Nicole to call in at some point. So first item on the agenda, approval of the meeting minutes of August 15th. Did you have a chance to see those and take a look?
I believe I did. Yes. Let me just check. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Yep. I've seen these.
Any comments, questions, corrections? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll put forth the motion. I think they look fine.
Okay. Maureen? Maureen, are you there? All right, well, I'll go back to that when she joins us again.
I think she's calling in.
Again, okay, well, she's been on and off quite a few times in the last 10 minutes or so, so she may be having, yeah, it looks like she's having trouble.
Eileen,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes,
This is Maureen.
yes, gotcha.
My computer is just, it will not give me any sound. And it's
Okay.
my new computer, so I'm not happy about it. So I'm on by phone.
That's good. We can hear you, and it's okay if we can't see you.
Okay, sounds good.
So Michael just made a motion to approve the August 15th draft minutes that I sent out. Can you second that or have any comments?
Sure, I'll second it. Yep. Yes.
Okay. All right, and I approve them. I wrote them, so the meeting minutes are approved. I don't see any members of the public on, so we don't have public comment, obviously. So let's go on to old business. The open space plan update, there's really nothing to report on that. I heard from Shane O'Brien in the Community Economic Development Department, and he has applied for a state grant for funds to help with the town's process on that, but he hasn't had any response yet, so we're still waiting for that. The next item is parks publicity.
Yep.
Yeah, Michael, what can you tell us about what's going on with that?
Sure. So I took the video, I took the comments back to Jeff from our previous discussion. There were a few questions. Specifically, some were concerned about the resolution of the video because it looked a little choppy. He wrote back and said a few things. He said the big thing is you have to download the video before watching the one that he sent. That's why it looked a little choppy because it was just previewing. He said, but the final product will be nice and clear and we don't have to worry about that at all. So he said that's kind of a non-issue. We should be in good shape. He said that he likes the idea of doing a Google map, showing where the points are for all the parks in the area. What he did suggest was that we, wherever we decide to host the videos, we actually like make a map to begin with, which I can do, and then share that link with him, and then he can have it actually like go in on each point. So then there's just a consistency thing. So that will be very easy to do. So that is a task on my end. And then he said any copy revisions, we need to update the script. and he wants to then book some time to get out to one or two of the additional parks in the near future for us to do some shooting. And I said that would be great. When I replied back to him, I was a little under the weather. And I just responded back to him this week and said we should reconnect when we get a chance. So kind of up in the air when we're gonna get back out there to do another shoot, but we'll do my best to try to find some time to meet with him over the next
I
couple
think
weeks.
we had decided that Tuckerwood would be next, right?
Yes, yep.
And
Yep.
to include Maureen when you first schedule it, maybe just to see if she's interested in going out with you because she knows the property so well, might be.
Yeah, honestly, if that would be really, really helpful, I'll knowing that property, having the understanding of it, and it helps with consistency and continuity of the shots of the video. So.
Okay. So when are you, I think, I'm trying to remember if you had decided that you were going to go ahead and post the Carver Pond one as soon as it was finished or wait till the others are done? Didn't,
We're gonna post them sooner than later.
Okay.
We just have not gotten the final edits done,
Yeah.
just because I was under the weather. So
Right.
my plan is to get those items done with him. The minor script edits that we had that I sent over, and then the Google page so that they have a link so they can zoom in for each individual one. So I can do that for him. And hopefully we can get a revised copy of the video up sooner than later. Something I am thinking about though is we have a lot of Triple E out currently, and also West Nile, promoting people going out to the parks like we have in the copy, like a good after work walk or whatever. Would it be wise to make a minor change to the script, and take that out so that we're not encouraging people to go out, when there's an opportunity, dusk or dawn, for people to get eaten alive by mosquitoes?
Yeah, that's a valid concern, though. I wonder at the kind of, I don't know, when that risk subsides, is it October or it seems like it
First
by
frost, first
frost.
actual like deep frost where
Okay.
they'll
All right.
die. So yeah, probably
So it
mid to late October.
could very well be that we're pretty close to that time, but by the time these get active anyway.
That's true. Yeah, that's
So
true.
we may go all winter and not have a frost the way things were going last year. You never know, I suppose.
No, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, that would be my thought. I guess I wouldn't go so far as to adjust the script at this point.
Yeah.
Just because the time frame will be such that I think it'll probably be passed, and the last 2 years we didn't have any Triple E issues at all. They just sort of reappeared this year, so it's almost
Right.
like we can't accommodate the way those things change over time. So
That's
maybe
true. Yeah, this is supposed to be evergreen, to be used for all the time, not just
and maybe
within
at some point what we could do, if it's a real concern, is we could put a notice, wherever the site is for the
Yeah.
home site for the videos, is we could put a notice up, Triple E warnings in effect, be careful walking outside or something like that.
Yeah, essentially what I was thinking of doing, because I think I mentioned it before, but Google has this part of their map structure where you can actually put points and like leave information, and it has its own link. We can actually change whatever info we put in there. I was just going to put the copy from the script, and then at the end we can kind of put a couple asterisks at the end, and then put, be sure to use bug spray, dress appropriately for the weather, and make sure that you avoid any issues with mosquitoes or anything like that.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever the copy turns out to be.
Appropriate precautions.
Appropriate precautions. That's actually a great line for it.
excuse me a second, Nicole, are you on now?
Yes.
Yes, okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure you weren't still in the waiting room. I didn't see you there, but okay, welcome. Thank you. So I don't know how, we were just talking about the video. I don't know just where you came in. The Carver Pond video that we commented on last time. Michael's been working with Jeff on it to get it finalized, but it's not posted yet, and it could be a little bit of time before it's there. But it is a work in progress. So, and then Tucker Wood will be next, as we discussed. So, though I had another question, Mike, that I was going to ask you, but I've lost it at the moment. All right, maybe it'll come back to me.
That's okay. No worries.
Yeah. It'll bug me until it does. Oh, I know one thing I was going to add is, I don't know if there is a map, a very rough map that shows the 6 town parklands. I think when you pull up the Parks and Rec link, it has that under the Parklands connection there, although somebody told me they couldn't find that recently. I think Pat Neary told me she found it, but I found it on another place on the Parks and Rec site. But it's a very rough, I'm not sure it's particularly useful to what you're doing, but you just might
I just found it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, yeah. So at least, you can either start with that, or, if you wanted to use that, or however you want to augment it with, it's very old, so it could probably use some updating, but.
Yeah, it's going to be digital, so we'll just have this will be helpful though for kind of like the zoomed out version to start with to pinpoint the parks.
Yeah,
So
it should have the locations, I hope, are accurate for you, so.
correct.
Okay, all right, good. That was what I wanted to say. All right. So let's move on to Wyman Meadow. I'm trying to get used to calling this the Wyman North Fork Conservation Area. I think I had it wrong in the minutes, and I didn't put it right in the agenda. So it's the Wyman North Fork Conservation Area, as we decided at our last meeting. So first of all, I didn't put it on the agenda, but I reported to the town council about this new trail on their meeting Tuesday night. Michael Dutton had said he was going to do that as part of his town manager's update at one of the meetings, but he left before he got around to it. So I talked with Josh, and I just what we did is I just had I wasn't on their agenda, but I just, as a citizen comment at the beginning of the meeting, told them about the park and what's been accomplished, and that we are having this opening event on October 5th. So that was it. And then what I'd really like to do now is spend a little time talking about the event itself. And unfortunately, Owen just emailed me that Owen Gray from Wildlands Trust, that he's not able to join the meeting. He was planning on doing it, but he can't. And so I'll just catch up with him as soon as I can tomorrow or early next week. I have drafted, so, all right, how do I, let me see, how do I share my own screen? Let's see, share screen, meet, I got it, okay. Oh, Josh, could you let me access screen sharing, please?
A second here. Should be all set.
All right. All right, so let me see, what do? I hit share screen, and then what?
You want to select which screen you want to share or which document.
Yeah, your window.
Yeah, okay. All right, sorry, I haven't done this in a long time, and I have no idea. All right, so I've got it opened. It's just a Word document. What do I do?
So when you hit share screen, it'll give you a list of choices to share.
Oh, all right, let me get back. Share screen, all right. Yeah, all it's showing is this. Well, I don't know, I can't figure out how to do it. It's not showing up on my screen, and it's a Word document. And when all I have is I have the list of participants, I have our meeting screen.
So if you hit share, it should show you like your Microsoft Word as an application.
Yeah, it's,
All right, so we can see your screen. So yeah, there we go. You can see it.
you can see it? Oh, good, okay, all right, good. All right, so this is just, I just threw this together just before our meeting. I just wanted to get something in paper. And I'm sure we can tweak this and make it much more appealing and enticing. But first of all, I mentioned to Josh just before our meeting too, is that my thought is that we will invite a number of specific town committee members. Rather, we won't be inviting the entire public because in the off chance that a whole lot of them might show up, we don't have room for them. So that we would confine the like specific invitations to these members: the Town Council, Conservation Commission, Parks and Rec, Community Preservation Committee, Town Manager's Office, Community and Economic Development staff, and Jeff Fowler. And so this would be an email that Josh would send out to these committee members, and this is, you can read it yourself. Good news for nature lovers and outdoor enthusiasts, a new 1.5 loop trail, blah, blah, blah. Why don't I just let you all read that? Let me know when you're done.
Done.
And also, yeah.
Has everyone gone through it?
Yep.
All right, so first of all, just the idea of sending it to the committee members. Does anybody have any comments on that? Can you think of anybody else we should send a personal invitation to, or?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right.
We could
Well,
invite
then-
the tree, we could invite the tree committee.
Oh my gosh, of
Yeah,
course.
tree committee.
Of course, of course, of course. Thank you, Nicole. All right, good.
Citizen of the Year, Pat Neary.
Oh,
Also, the Taunton River Watershed Alliance.
oh, that's a good idea, yep. Although I wonder, we don't want it to go to their membership, I don't think, though.
No, just their. That's
And
a good
I mean, I
point.
know Harry Bailey is chair of one of those, and he is on the Conservation Commission. That's a good thought, though, Nicole. I just can't think of any individuals,
Yeah,
and we don't want it to go to the membership, so. Yeah, okay, well, it's,
it could be like, yeah, for any of the board members. Yeah, that's fine. I felt as though there is a few individuals who seem to come, who seem to have a vested interest in things happening in the town that would tend to come to provide comment at Conservation Commission meetings and things like that. I'm just trying to think of who specifically that is. You're right.
Yeah.
We would want it to be like an individual.
But that's a good thought too, that's an organization we ought to make a point of sending a specific notice to the organization. not the members, but the organization itself.
Yes.
I mean, just whatever their contact person is. And I won't ask Josh to do that. We may think of some others, because I know there's the Taunton River Watershed Council, and there's those two organizations, which I don't quite understand the distinction between, but let me just make a
I have
note.
an odd suggestion, but it might be a good one for just continuity or education. Somebody from the water department, because we do,
That's
because
a
we
great,
will be sharing the road with them, so then they have kind of a better idea of what to expect.
great idea. Yep, I totally agree.
Will this be an email invitation or paper mailed?
I'm thinking an email.
Okay.
All right.
Because the only other thing is that the assessor's office could give a list of residents that live within a certain perimeter.
Oh, well, we have that from that meeting that we did way back, a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that would
maybe-
probably be, or we could drop flyer into their mailbox, just
Yeah.
because it would be nice for them to, because some of them could walk
yeah,
there, and obviously, we are interested in the whole town, but it is, the abutters would be kind of cool.
Right, yep. Yeah, well, we have that list for sure, so, and I can't remember if I have that or who, whether Josh, are you on? I don't
I'm
know.
still here.
Josh, do you remember, if you sent that out to the abutters for me, or did I?
I haven't sent anything out for you.
No, I mean, this would have been like a year and a half ago.
Hmm.
Well, I'll find it. Never mind. I mean, I will find the announcement, and you can see if it rings a bell with you. I'll send it to you, because we got the list from, or somebody, you might have even gotten the list from me of abutters from the.
Okay, yeah, just send it over to me and I'll check.
Yeah, and we just sent it to them for that just notice of, we're getting ready to do this, and just that one person showed up, but he was very interested. So yeah, definitely, that's a good idea. Okay. All right.
Eileen,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
just be aware, they didn't want too many cars, but already we've got like 15, 20 people will probably bring their own cars. So parking might become an issue.
Right. Yeah, it could, but I'm not very hopeful that a lot of these people will show up.
Especially if it's bad weather.
Right. I mean, we can. I guess we could ask for an RSVP. Josh, does that make sense? Do you think that would be manageable?
To ask them to RSVP. Yeah, I think that's possible.
Okay. And then if nothing else, we can encourage people to carpool if we looks like we're going to have a big showing. I mean, I know, I when I was out there with Owen, there were about 10, 12, maybe even more cars parked along the road without any problem. So that's kind of
Okay.
what I'm counting on. If it got to be 30 cars, then we've got an issue. But 10, 15, I mean, I really could have accommodated more, because there's along the side of the road, there's really plenty of parking, and it's accessible still to the water department vehicles, should there be any, or just other people coming in their cars. So, but I think if we can get an RSVP, that would be good. And then if a whole lot of people are coming, then I don't know what we do. But we just send out an email, I guess, and encourage them to park someplace and meet up with each other or something. So, all right. Any other thoughts? Those are three good additions to who to send it to. So, any others while you're thinking about it? We can always add to it in the next few days or something too. Josh, I'm thinking that this should go out like early next week sometime, or next week. I mean, as long as it's a week, at least a week ahead, probably.
Okay.
All right, so I'll be in touch, but. All right, so what about the content? Please, if you think we need a totally different approach in some way? Just have at
I
it.
think it's perfect the way it is, to be honest with you.
Oh, all right.
I wouldn't change anything. I think that, you know, the time, everything's there. Talk about the partnership with the Wildlands Trust. How long it is, all that information. I think it's fine. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't overthink it. That's
All right. Great. I like that.
Can I ask a question, Eileen?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
the trail a 1.5 mile loop, or is it 1.5 in and out?
It's 1.5
Each
mile
way.
loop. A loop.
is a good question.
Maybe that should be on there, because if people think they're going to be hiking 3 miles, they may not be too interested.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll add 1.5 mile loop trail. I thought I had that there somewhere, but yeah, it's in the second line, a new 1.5 mile
Yep.
loop trail. See that, Maureen?
What's that?
It's in the second line. That's where I put it.
Yep.
Okay.
Consistency.
Oh, I see. Yep, above.
Yep.
Yep, okay, I gotcha.
And then
Okay.
in that last sentence, with where it says tick protection, we could say tick and mosquito protection.
Okay, all right. Bug, would that do it? Bug protection? What do you think? We need
Yeah,
to
I
say,
think, but I just feel like we should say mosquito just because of the triple E, but yes.
yeah, okay, all right. Bug and mosquito protection, okay. All right. Anything else? Oh, and I think I'll check with Owen, but I figure 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 sounds like a long time, but I'm sure people won't show up right at 10. And I honestly don't know what we're going to do at the event. That's another thing to talk about. I mean, I made a few comments that like I exceeded my 3 minutes at the town council the other day, just telling people, telling them sort of the history of this and what we've done, working with Wildlands Trust. And I mean, I think it's worth going through all that again. I mean, I think when we're out there, people should understand the kind of the history of the property. I don't know if we have any way of illustrating that. We have these 3x5 drawings and maps that the consultant did for the NRTB in the early 2000s. And if it's possible, I thought we might try to put some of those up on the kiosk. They're really not particularly useful or relevant anymore, because some of the descriptions, they've all been overtaken by invasive species, etc. There's no longer really a meadow, but still it might be of some interest to have something visual and actual copy of something. But I don't know if anybody has any ideas about what else, if anything, we might say. I don't see us serving coffee and donuts. And I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's somebody from the town. I mean, Michael, of course, we would have invited Michael Dutton, I think, had he been here. But I don't know if there's anybody else there really hasn't been anyone who's been involved in this. Does anyone else have any thoughts about that, of somebody we might ask to speak about it? I mean, I don't know. I could ask whether Wildlands Trust has anybody they might send. Any thoughts?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll ask Owen about a speaker. Its speaker is probably overblowing it. It's really just like, a kind of an introduction, and maybe somebody talking about when they acquired their property and what they hadn't been able to do with it before, and that now it's been, the working together on this has been fruitful for them and for us, and blah, blah, blah. So, all right, well, if anybody has any other ideas about that, just let me know. I mean, I don't see any reason to have it be an extensive discussion, but I do think people will probably, draggle in. It won't all happen at 10 a.m. So for that reason, I expect that those people will then, that group of officials, if they actually come, will be given the opportunity to take the walk. And one of the things that Owen is working on is he has had many volunteers out there over the last year or so, up to 20 at certain times, and a number of them have come repeatedly. And so he's going to try to recruit a couple of them to actually guide the hikes, which would be really nice. So if there's someone there, who can probably describe for them what they experienced when they started that, how the property got wetter and wetter and wetter as the work went on. And we're not going to see that this time, but it certainly was wet for most of the year plus they've been working on it. So I think my thought is that we will have a hike for whoever shows up in that first group. Maybe, and if it's 10 people, 10 at a time, if it's whatever, however many show up. And then that by the time those people get in and come back and move their cars, it would be time to allow the public starting at 11. And Owen is going to arrange for the registration on their site. They do that all the time. And so there'll be a link somewhere in this notice when it's posted for the public. This is going to have to be revised, of course. This is for the committees, but then when we're going to need to revise this just for the public to be posted on town website and wherever else. So Michael, I appreciate you didn't have any comments about this, but certainly you're going to want to make it something jauntier and shorter for the public websites, right?
For the
No?
I mean, if we're posting it for the public would be just kind of like a pared down
Yes, exactly.
version of it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, taking out the dedication part will probably the dedication part or the official opening part, and then the guided walks.
Yeah.
Paragraphs are probably the two that
Yeah,
would go,
exactly.
and then the
Okay.
other three would be what you would post
right.
on social
Okay,
media.
I'll redo this in a shorter version, and then we'll talk about getting it posted on and what other sites. You have talked before already, about Facebook, Bridge 02324, and
Mhm.
the town, and all that has to go through Josh anyway, I think. So
Yeah, it's very simple. I would say that it as it is good. Just if we took out those two paragraphs, that can be public
Yeah.
facing. The rest
Okay.
of it is informative enough, I think.
Okay, all right. Let's see, the other there's something else I was going to say about the debt too. Okay. All right. And then I don't know, if I'll ask Owen, they may have an idea of how many people might come, but that registration should be required. And whether we do them every half an hour or every 45 minutes, or I think I'll get his best guess on that. And the people who have spent a lot of time out there probably I've walked it a few times myself, but I've never really timed it. So we'll see how many hiking sessions we want to schedule. And I mean, really how long people can stay out there too. I mean, if people want to come all afternoon, I don't think that means that we necessarily are going to have guides to do that. So we may just decide that we want 3 to 11, 11:30, and that's it, or maybe more. We can see. But all right, any thoughts on that? No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just looking at Owen's email. He said they can definitely offer the registration and how that should look, and he'll find out what their outreach staff can handle. And as I said, he's working on recruiting a couple of volunteer hike leaders, so, okay. Oh, ribbon cutting. Should we have a ribbon? That should be easy enough to rig up.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? We got to do something to, we have to do something to call it an official opening.
Maybe break a branch or something.
Yeah.
Keep it more natural.
Right, yeah, something, yeah, that's exactly, that's funny, that's exactly what I was thinking of, Maureen, you know, can we get a bittersweet vine or something to drag across 2 poles and cut it, but anyway.
We'll have to think about that one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think if you think of anything creative, anything that would be kind of fun or, you know, just get a laugh or something, all of you, if you can think of. And I'm hoping, so who thinks they can be there of our committee?
I'll be
Nicole?
there.
All right,
I'll be there
that's
until
Maureen.
10:30. I have an 11 o'clock appointment that I have to go to, that I have to attend, but I
okay,
will be there until 10:30.
okay, great. And Nicole, any chance?
No, my son has a football game at exactly 10 o'clock.
Oh, all right, okay, all right. Okay, so, I can't think of anything else. Oh, sign on the street, but that's what I'm hoping, we badly need a sign on the street, a big, very visible sign. And I'm hoping that Owen can come up with that because they have all sorts of signs at their disposal, so, but that's critical. In fact, we may even want a few of them. All right, so that's basically the to-do list was for the opening 5th event. If anybody thinks of anything else as the, you know, as the date grows closer, please share your ideas. All right, so
Just regarding one other idea is that I haven't exactly seen you know, how that parking area was. I know that there was a little bit of work done around that parking area, and I know that there was discussion that there might be like some picnic tables and stuff. If we think there's any opportunities to plant a tree or 2 or 3,
yeah,
we have some, we can bring it forward to the tree committee. We have money. We can get trees. DPW is open to planting trees in public spaces. So if that is something that could be done, or even just announce that it would happen, you know, at this opening, I think that could be cool.
yeah, okay,
So
good idea.
I'll see if I can go by this weekend, because I would need like, you know, I could bring something forward to, if I had a picture and we could
Yeah.
all agree on where to plant it, I could go forward to at the next tree committee meeting.
Yeah.
You know, so we probably can't get it all approved by October 5th, but
No, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you know, and I mean, actually, one thing to think about when you go out there and see it, Nicole, the first thing that comes to my mind is, you know, this was supposed to be a meadow, and it's not anymore because it's gotten so overgrown. But if there was a picnic table there, it would be nice to have a picnic table in the shade.
yeah,
So,
okay,
you know, or maybe even the parking spaces. But
yes,
I think, I guess I wouldn't assume that we want a great big tree planted there if it's not part of the natural topography, you know. And you know, what's growing up there now is autumn olive and,
yeah,
you know, so but just if you can take a look at it, that would be great. But then we ought to, that like Owen's opinion about that too, about whether.
oh, absolutely, yep,
Yeah,
gotcha.
You know, the meadow is kind of a lost cause, but anyway.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So the other item I've been procrastinating on, honestly, is the agreement between Wildlands Trust and the town. I mean, there's really no deadline on that, and it would have been nice to have gotten it done when Michael was still here, just because he's familiar with the whole thing, but I'll do it eventually. And I think it's gonna, it's gonna take some time, so. Oh, okay, so then, moving on to hunting. I did get some clarification. I called, Kitty Doherty about this. Because, we don't know who can resolve the issue of whether there should or should not be hunting. And I mentioned that I had talked to Michael Dutton about it when I met with him, a couple months ago, and his comment was, well, yeah, they were going to have the same issue with Stiles and Hart. And so I asked Kitty, I called Kitty because she kind of knows the history of these properties. And actually, I had two questions. One, did she have any attachment to the Wyman Meadow name, which she did not. She said basically she and whoever was working on the project at that time had just kind of come up with that on their own. So she thought what we were proposing, the Wyman Meadow North Fork Conservation Area, was fine. And I don't even know if I just said that right this time or not. I still may be misstating it myself, what we decided. But at any rate, she was good with that. And then, but we talked about hunting, and she said basically the position of the town has been, with the exception of like Carver Pond, which is just so wildly popular with the public and surrounded by homes, etc., that it's the town. Oh, Gina's on. Okay. Hi, Gina. It's the
Hey
town.
there, sorry I'm late.
That's all right. It's the town that, it's the state regulations that control. The town doesn't necessarily have any policies about hunting. That pretty much it's not posted one way or the other, and that hunters are obligated to know what the restrictions are, how many 500 feet or whatever from a home, the months of the year that certain types of hunts can take place, whether it's turkey or deer or whatever, and that the town has pretty much avoided, and maybe intentionally so, putting up signs about it and making decisions about it because of the controversy that will, of course, arise. And in this instance, where this area, this has been a town parkland, even though not used as such for all these years, and people have been hunting on it, and there's been no sign one way or the other, and people were free to go out there or not go out there. And, people did walk up the road from time to time. I know Maureen and I did that a couple of years ago. And I mean, I know when I go to Great River Preserve, I'm mindful that there's hunting during times of the year when I would like to be out there walking, and I just make a point of going on Sunday. And so I kind of like that approach from that Kitty was offering. It seemed to me that it made sense, and that's what has been done over the years. And she suggested that I talk with the Fish and Wildlife people, the manager of the Southeast Mass office, which I will do at some point, just to kind of confirm that that's sort of the policy of most towns. And in the instance of Carver Pond, I haven't looked. Actually, I have their regulations on my phone. I haven't looked at them in a while, but I can't remember if they say anything specifically even about hunting there. And that the theory was kind of like the property becomes self-restricting, that if there's a lot of people hiking someplace, the hunters are going to go elsewhere because there's not going to be any game around. I don't know how reliable that is, but that's been sort of the theory, I guess. Yeah, and I'm looking, I do have the rules and regulations of Carver Pond, and it says no dirt bikes or all-terrain vehicles, only hand-carried tents, no removal of vegetation, no unauthorized use of chainsaws, don't dig or disturb any artifact, all fires must be designated, all trash must be removed. Oh, okay. No discharge of firearms, drunkenness, or chemical abuse is permitted on conservation land. Huh. Well, that's interesting, because that's one of the things that Kitty has said too, that bow hunting is often an option too in areas where they're trying to control for deer. So anyway, this is peculiar to Carver Pond, I guess, and that's what she was implying, that Carver Pond, there had been a restriction adopted. Although again, that says abuse of discharge of firearms. It doesn't say anything about bow hunting. So anyway, so I don't know. I'll look into that a little more, but I think that I like that idea just because I can't see trying to go forward with to the town council with a restriction on any one of these properties, just because of I'm sure that it would be very controversial, and it sounds like it really hasn't been in place heretofore. So,
Eileen,
yeah,
could there be a sign posted during well, I know it's all different hunting seasons, but putting up saying that hunters may be nearby, caution, hunters may be nearby.
yeah,
You should wear, because they could wear, bright colors or something.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was going to suggest, what Maureen just said. We walk in different trails all over, and at least a couple of us always wear the bright orange, bright colors. So
Yeah.
even if there are hunters out there, they hear a noise, they're going to see a bright color.
Yeah, maybe that'd be one way to put it, is just, orange reflect, whatever the term is for hunting.
Blaze.
Blaze, yeah, blaze
I think
orange.
it's blaze.
Yeah, hiking with blaze orange clothing during hunting season is suggested, or something like that. It kind of puts people on notice.
I know nowadays they call it high visibility clothing.
Yeah.
That might be a term that's more common use nowadays than
Yeah,
blaze.
Okay. All right. Well, we can look up the appropriate, maybe the state has some idea about that too, but all right. So that's, anyway, I thought that was I was satisfied with that resolution, because I couldn't quite see how we were going to resolve it for this property or Stiles and Hart, both places where there had been hunting previously, and there would definitely be some controversy if it was banned, but this sort of ducks the issue. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about for Wyman Meadow, unless anyone else has anything they wanted to add. Nicole?
Eileen?
Yes.
It's Maureen. I have to go. I have personal business to take care of.
All right. Thanks for joining, Maureen.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, tree committee report. Nicole?
Yes, I don't think I have any new major new updates really to kind of share back. Our last meeting, we were really just trying to regroup and really trying to plan some more opportunities to plant some trees. We're gearing up to, try to document, our submission to be a tree city again. And we're going to start to plan kind of next year's Arbor Day celebration. So I think that I did, mention this in the past, that we will be kind of looking for some partners. And I think obviously that the complements of both of our committees might work well. So the summer's been a little crazy, and I personally as well need to kind of regroup on everything. So I will have hopefully a bigger report next month.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I do have, I am jumping off for a 3:00 meeting in a couple minutes here.
All right. That's good. We're almost done. So the Lake Nick project, there's really nothing to report other than I think this was the 6th continuance. I can't remember why I think this one was because the independent consultant's report had come in, but the applicant had not had time to review it, so they asked for another continuance, so. And Pat isn't on, so I don't know if there's anything new from their angle, the citizen opposition, but I haven't seen anything, so. Hanson Farm update, nothing really specific other than just, I understand the project is moving ahead. I check in with Bob Hanson every once in a while, and I think I did, there was a going away event for Michael Dutton that I went to, and I just had a chance to speak with the new acting town manager, Blythe. I think her name is Robinson, I don't know, Blythe, I can't remember her last name. Anyway, just mentioned it to her, and she said, yeah, it was, she understood it was a high priority, and Michael had filled her in, so we'll just wait and see how that moves ahead, but it sounds like it is, and that was, Bob Hanson was quite hopeful that the issues were being resolved and they would move forward, so that's it. Any questions about that? Nope. All right, so annual reorganization of the Open Space Committee. Michael,
Yes.
you had said you would consider being president. How are you thinking about that now?
Yeah, it's something I'm definitely interested in doing. I think it would be great. The question I had is, when would the term technically begin?
How about January?
Sure,
All right, sounds good.
that works for me.
I can handle it to then, and then, yeah, and then you and I can have some time on, because I'd like to, sort of fill you in and something, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, something to learn from what I've been doing the last
Yeah, exactly.
years or whatever, so. All right, well, that's great. That's good news. I appreciate that.
But
Okay.
Eileen, you're remaining on the committee, right?
I am,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay, so any new business? Gina, you kind of missed it all, sorry.
Sorry, I was thinking to check the time because I couldn't remember the time. Then I got involved in a CPC email, and when I went to look something up on the town site, it led me to look up something else, and I couldn't find the link for your meeting.
Right.
But I finally got on.
Yeah. Michael, I don't know if you know Gina, but she's on the Community Preservation Committee.
Nice to meet you, Gina.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Can I just add that as you probably know, CPC is in the process of writing its 5-year plan.
Yep, we went over that last time, actually, and then I think we talked about, I'm attending your focus groups on the 23rd.
Great.
Yeah, and we talked about those. I can't remember if Maureen was planning to or not.
Okay, we have a survey that we're in the process of releasing. So
Okay.
just watch like postings, or it'll be on the CPC website. We're trying to get it into the latest news on the town's webpage, but we will make sure you all see it. And I encourage you to complete it. I haven't done it yet myself, but I think Carlton said it takes less than 10 minutes.
Okay, and we should do this individually or as a committee? Does it matter?
Individually, I would say.
Okay.
And also, once all the focus groups have been held and the survey, I think it closes October 14th or 15th, something in that range. But the consultant company, J.M. Golson, will put everything together into a plan, present it to us, and we'll have a public hearing for it on November 4th.
All right.
That I'd encourage everybody to go to. Right now, it's scheduled as virtual, but we're going to try to do it as a hybrid.
All right. I am going to be in South America then.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, Carlton joined us on a meeting when he was in France. So it was
Oh.
well after midnight there, but he jumped on to, so
I'm
we
not
have a quorum.
I'm not trying that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see, new business, this Open Space Committee participation in the Autumn Fest. I sent that email around, I think the new counselor which I thought was a great idea, who's trying to get more people recruited, because there are a lot of committees that are really lacking any committee members, I think. We of course need one. And so I can't remember what the hours were. I sent that around. Michael, what was it? Do you remember? You said you thought you could be there one part of the time.
Yeah, it was an extended period of time. I think it was like 10 to 2 or something
Yeah,
like that. I said I could do a couple hours in the morning.
Okay, all right. And I think I can probably do an hour or two as well. So, Nicole, I assume you can't. No, right? And I'll check with Maureen and I can't remember if whether we're supposed to respond to her or not, but I'll follow up on that. So you think in the morning, Michael, for you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can be there for the 10 a.m.
Yeah.
time.
Okay, all right, great. Okay. Next meeting, October 17th, 2 p.m. Anything else for discussion, anybody? No, okay. All right. Motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All right. We are
Third.
adjourned,
All right.
and the time is 3 o'clock exactly.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome. Good timing. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.
Thanks for joining, Gina.